Let's start with simplifying expressions. Here we have the expression 3a plus 2a, which is made up of two terms, the term 3a and the term 2a. These two terms have something in common, the letter a. So in the next line we write the letter a, which is in common, at the beginning of the line, and we multiply this letter by the uncommon parts of the two terms that we will write inside parentheses. So the number 3 plus the number 2. In the next step, we just compute the sum inside the parentheses between the number 3 and the number 2, which is 5. And a multiplied by 5 is nothing else than 5a, which is the final result of this exercise. Now, let's try with another example. The next example is the expression 5x minus x. This expression is also made up of two terms and can be rewritten as 5x minus 1x. The common part of these two terms is the letter x. So again, in the next line, we write the common part at the beginning, x, multiplied by, inside parentheses, 5 minus 1, which are the uncommon parts of the two terms. Then, in the next step, we just subtract 1 to 5, and we find that x multiplied by 4, which is also 4x, which is the final answer of this exercise. The next example is the expression 5x plus 5y. The two terms that made up this expression have something in common, the number 5. And so, as we have done before, we write in the next line the number 5 at the beginning multiplied by parentheses x plus y. Since inside the parentheses we don't have numbers anymore and we have two letters that are different, we cannot do anything else. And so this is also the final solution, the final answer to this exercise. Let's see another example. This expression is 3x minus 3x squared. This expression can also be rewritten in the following way: 3x minus 3x multiplied by x. And now we can find the common parts of the two terms that make up this expression, which is 3x. Now we proceed as we have done so far, and so we write the common part 3x at the beginning multiplied by parentheses 1 minus x, the remaining parts of the two terms. And so, as we cannot do anything else inside the parentheses because we have one number and one letter, this is also the final solution to this exercise. The next example is the expression 6a squared minus 6a. This expression can be written as 6a multiplied by a minus 6a. The common parts of the two terms are 6a. And so we write this common part at the beginning and we multiply it for the remaining parts of this expression, a minus 1. Again, inside the parentheses, we have a letter a and a number 1, so we cannot do anything more than that. And so this is also the final answer to this exercise. The next example is the expression 2x squared y minus 2xy squared. We can rewrite this expression in this way: 2 multiplied by x multiplied by x multiplied by y minus 2 multiplied by x multiplied by y multiplied by y. And now it's very easy to see what are the common parts of these two terms. We have the number 2, we have the letter x, only one, and we have the letter y, only 1. And so we write the common part at the beginning of the next line, 2xy, multiplied by the remaining parts of the two terms that are not in common, x minus y. Inside the parentheses, we have two letters that are different, x and y, and so we cannot do anything more, and this is the final expression, simplified expression. The next expression is a plus b. We can see that these two terms have nothing in common. We have two different letters, a and b, and so we cannot simplify this expression further, and the final answer is a plus b. Let's now look at the next example, the expression a plus 2a. The two terms have something in common, the letter a, and so we write the letter a at the beginning, multiplied by parentheses 1 plus 2. Now we compute the sum between 1 plus 2 inside the parentheses, and in the next line we have a multiplied by 3, which is also 3a. That is the final answer of this exercise. This is the next expression that we want to simplify. We can see that it's made up of two terms that are exactly the same. And so we write the common part at the beginning of the next line, and inside the parentheses this time there will be 1 plus 1. As 1 plus 1 equals 2, then the final simplified expression will be 2a to the power of 2, b to the power of 3, c. And this is the final answer. Now let's have a look at the last of our examples. We have the expression 4a minus 4a to the power of 0. We need to remember that any number or any letter, anything that is to the power of 0 is equal to 1. And so this expression becomes 4a minus 4 multiplied by 1. We can see that the two terms have the number 4 in common. So we write the number 4 at the beginning of the next line, multiplied by parentheses a minus 1. And since inside the parentheses now we have a letter a and a number 1, we cannot do anything more, and so this is the final simplified expression.